Hello, Professor and everyone. My name is Jiankai Eric, and my student ID is 1133702001. Welcome to my final project presentation for Statistics Practice 2. Today, I'm excited to share my research titled Bicycle Helmet Compliance versus Adolescent Interpersonal Violence. Let's look at the section 1, the study framework. The core objective of this project is to explore whether proactive regulatory compliance, specifically the habit of always wearing a bicycle helmet, is linked to a broader mindset of risk mitigation, such as lower involvement in physical fights among adolescents. From the provided data set, after data cleaning and filtering out missing values, we obtained a very robust sample size with a total of 11,144 valid observations. Our explanatory variable x is helmet numeric, which is a binary indicator where 1 means always wears a helmet and 0 means never wears a helmet. Our response variable y is fight-numeric, where 1 indicates the student was involved in a physical fight over the past year, and 0 means no fight. Moving on to section 2. Look at the descriptive statistics showed in our proportional bar chart. The visualization tells a very clear and compelling story. Among the 6,451 students who never wore a helmet, 41.7% of them were involved in physical fights, represented by the yellow bar. However, look at the group of 4,693 students who always wore a helmet. The proportion of fighting drops dramatically to just 26.8%, while 73.2% of them remained clear of violence, represented by the deep blue bar. This descriptive visualization gives us immediate strong hint that there is a significant behavioral gap between the two groups. But to prove this rigorously, we need inferential statistics. Since our response variable is binary, I applied a logistic regression model. Looking at the regression summaries table, the coefficient for our explanatory variable helmet-num is minus 0.6706. The negative sign confirms that helmet compliance is inversely related to fighting behavior. More importantly, look at the z statistic. It is an extreme minus 16.154. And the corresponding p-value is 2.086 e minus 60次方, which is mathematically close to 0 and smaller than our alpha level of 0.05. This leads to our primary inferential result shown in section 3. The odds ratio is 0.5114. with a tight 95% confidence interval between 0.471 and 0.555. This odds ratio tells us that students who always wear helmets have approximately 49% lower odds of getting into physical fights compared to those who don't. Now, let's talk about the core concept conclusion for this report. This project is not just about calculating numbers. It's about uncovering human behavior. By applying this statistical workflow, we prove that institutional rule, Following transcends simple safety. Wearing a helmet and avoiding violence are not isolated actions. They mirror an intrinsic, latent risk averse persona that naturally protects adolescents from Based on this concept, I propose two future extensions. First, behavioral screening radar. Schools and policymakers can utilize low helmet wearing rates in certain regions as an early statistical warning radar to deploy proactive peer mediation and guidance before physical violence actually escalates. Second, confounding variable control. For future analysis, I highly recommend expanding this into a multi-variable logistic regression to adjust for families' socio-economic backgrounds and school enforcement styles, thereby isolating the pure personality effect. In conclusion, as highlighted in the final banner below, with overwhelming statistical evidence, we officially reject the null hypothesis. There is a powerful, highly significant correlation between wearing a bicycle helmet and the mitigation of youth violence. This project successfully demonstrates how data analytics can help understand and potentially improve adolescent behavioral clustering in the real world. Thank you, Professor and everyone, for this wonderful journey in statistics practice. This concludes my presentation. Thank you all your time. Bye bye. I'm Eric.